Alright guys, just San here, back for another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And in today's video, we're going to be looking at the free-to-play Lr Jackie Chun, because this guy is coming out within the next day or two on Global, because we are getting the next World Tournament. I know everyone's favorite game mode, but he is coming out within the next couple days because this is the next free World Tournament card. And I gotta say, as much as I know everyone hates the game mode, and I am included in that, World Tournament is pretty boring, I really do think it's worth grinding this one time because this guy is a really good free-to-play LR. Actually, he's probably the best free-to-play LR right now, if not tied with the STR LR Vegito Blue. But yeah, this guy is helping a ton of categories. He's a really good unit, especially because he has some damage reduction built in that can pretty much make him insanely tanky, but we'll get to that in a second. So I am right here on the Dokkan Wiki because my private server doesn't actually have this guy's details translated. So I do still want to go over his details, but if you want to skip to the showcase and the Cell Max test and all that, still feel free to do that. And I mean, yeah, let's just get into this guy's kit. So starting off with his leader skill, it is World Tournament category Ki +4, HP attack and defense plus 130%. So not really the craziest leader skill. It's not even a 150 lead, which you need at least 170 leads to be viable in today's meta. So the fact that it's a 130% does kind of suck. And also World Tournament is yeah, this isn't a good category necessarily. This is probably one of the worst categories in the game right now. So he's not a good lead, and the category sucks, but technically he is the best World Tournament lead right now. So if you really have to run this category, he is the ideal leader. And for his super attack effects, on his 12 key, he raises defense for 1 turn, and then causes colossal damage to enemy with a high chance of stunning the enemy. And then on his 18 key, he raises attack for 1 turn, causes mega colossal damage to enemy, and then has a high chance to stun as well. One thing I don't like about this is that he gets 30% defense on 12 key, and then the 30% attack on 18 key. I wish they switched this, or better yet, just make it to where he gets 30% attacking defense on both super attack effects. I feel like that would have made him a lot better, but I don't know, maybe they thought that would have been too OP. But anyway, getting into his passive, he gets 4 key, and then he gets 120% attack and defense. He gives World Tournament category allies 3 key and 50% attack and defense, so that's a massive support buff, so that's really good. And then he gets an additional attack plus 20% with each super attack performed up to 60%. He gets an additional defense plus 20% with each attack received up to 60%. And then when the enemy is hit by the character's ultra super attack, he reduces damage received by 50% for the duration of that turn. So a couple things about this. You only get the damage reduction for that turn, and you have to hit the enemy with his 18 key super attack. So there are times when you're not going to be able to get this just because maybe you got unlucky with key spheres, maybe the enemy dodges you, and if the enemy dodges you, I believe you don't get this activated because it does specify when you actually hit the enemy when you actually hit the enemy with the 18 key super attack. Just pretty much the word hit kind of guarantees that if the enemy does dodge it, technically that doesn't count, so then you don't get the damage reduction. So there are a lot of times where this unit is going to be kind of wonky, but as long as you get this 50% damage reduction up, which, I mean, sometimes you might not get it, but for the most part, this is pretty easy to get, then this guy is going to be very, very tanky. I mean, if we have the 50% damage reduction up, I'm pretty sure we're surviving Cell Max Supers. I mean, that partly does have to do because he has type advantage, but nonetheless, still very impressive for a free-to-play unit. And of course, if you're fully built up, you can get to some really crazy defensive levels. So with the 50% damage reduction, it's just really good. And moving on to his active skill, he raises attack by 610%. So that's a pretty big buff. I mean, this isn't going to be hitting like as hard as Dokkan Fest Pan's active skills, for sure. But it's still a pretty big buff. So don't underestimate this active skill. It will still be doing a ton of damage. And then he causes damage to enemy, and then within the turn activated, has a 64% chance to do a critical hit. So it's not guaranteed crits, which is kind of unfortunate. A lot of units have that nowadays, but at least he does still have the chance to do a crit. And of course, he gets a pretty big attack buff, so not the worst active skill effect. I've seen a lot better with units releasing recently, but I've also seen a lot worse, so this isn't horrible. You know, we got some crit chance and a big attack buff, but for sure, maybe if it was like guaranteed crits, that would have been nice. But anyway, moving on to the condition for the active skill. This is actually really easy. All you need to do is receive 6 attacks or perform 4 super attacks. So extremely easy to get. I don't think there's going to be a scenario where you're ever really struggling to get this. unless you're in like super battle road, because the event just doesn't go on that long for you to do 4 super attacks or receive 6 attacks. But I mean, still a good effect, a pretty good active skill. I mean, it's not the best, but again, it's pretty good. It'll do some damage, especially if you start getting the crits off right here. So yeah, his links are Brainiacs, World Tournament Champion, Kamehameha, The Incredible Adventure, Guidance of the Dragon Balls, Shattering the Limit, and Legendary Power. His categories are World Tournament, Full Power, Dragon Ball Saga, Kamehameha, Earthlings, Battle of Wits, Planetary Destruction, Accelerated Battle, and Warriors Raised on Earth. Okay, that was a lot of categories and links. All right. So yeah, that pretty much is it. There's nothing really else to go over with this guy. Let's go ahead and cut to when we are in the Legendary Vegeta event. Alright, so we are here in the Legendary Vegeta event, and right now we've got kind of a good rotation. We're not going to have any of our links active, but we are going to have the support from Yajirobe, I believe. So right here we are at 175k start of turn defense. Not really the craziest start of turn defensive stat, but you do have to keep in mind he gets 60% defense once he's fully built up, and we can get that 50% damage reduction if we hit the enemy with our 18-key super attack. Obviously, we're supporting as well for World Tournament category allies, and we do get that 30% defense on 12-key, so there is a lot going on for him right now. It's not just the 175k defense and that's it, but okay, it looks like we're actually not going to get the 50% damage reduction right here. So what we'll do is we'll just showcase this rotation just because, and on the next rotation, we'll have a bit of a better one where we'll have him linked with another Master Roshi. And hopefully we can get an actual 18-key super attack off, because right here we got really unlucky with Ki, which is an issue with this guy, as I was explaining. If you get unlucky with Ki and can't get the 18-key super attack off, you're missing out on that 50% damage reduction. And if this guy is in an event where you need crazy levels of defense, then for sure missing out on that can be very detrimental. So actually, you know what? I haven't seen this 12-key animation. I didn't know that it was, I didn't know that was his 12-key animation. Actually, that looked kind of cool. I like that. Alright. So his animations are pretty good, too, for a free-to-play unit. If you were curious, you know, his animations are pretty good. I know, usually for World Tournament units, they don't really go too crazy. But I would say this guy is a little above average. I mean, what's his competition? The Tech Demon King Piccolo, and then the Mercenary Tao. And I mean, the Mercenary Tao, actually, his animations aren't horrible, but I don't think the Demon King Piccolo has crazy animations. But of course, he's a little older than everyone, so it does make sense. But yeah, I mean, overall, not really the best rotation right there. I think we were only at like 200 and something K defense, like 230 or 20k defense, because we did get the 30% defense on our 12-key super attack, but we didn't have the damage reduction, and we weren't built up at all, so just not really too impressive right there. But we will see him on this next rotation with another Master Roshi, and I think we're still gonna have some support right here. Let me be sure of that. Yeah, well, actually, yeah, we have the support from the other Master Roshi. So, okay, right here we're gonna have 4 out of 7 links active, so better than the last rotation, but not too crazy. We do have Brainiacs though, which is a little bit of defense. So yeah, start of turn, we are at 200k now instead of 170-ish K defense. So this is pretty good, because once we get that 18-key super attack, that is 200k defense with 50% damage reduction. And because we've got a better partner and just better luck with key spheres, we can get that. And we are receiving a bunch of attacks right here, so we are going to build up a little as well. So right here, we're going to receive 2 attacks. So that is 40% defense. So then what is that going to put us at? That's going to put us at almost 300k defense with 50% damage reduction. Okay, I mean, that's not the best. That's not necessarily bad, though. Are we getting our defense lowered right here? Oh my god, we are. Alright, I hate that this event does that. So, okay, so almost a 5 million attacks. That was a 4.6 million damage. So pretty good. The animation is pretty nice as well. We got the additional normal. And right here, we do have the 50% damage reduction. So basically, we're taking everything in the game right there. Or at least when we're fully built up, we will. Because I do think building up that 60% defense is pretty crucial. Because right there, we saw he was only at like 200k start of turn defense, which even with 50% damage reduction isn't that crazy. But once you start pushing 300, 400k defense with the 50% damage reduction, then he starts to get really, really good. But alright, right here, actually, you know what? We're going to have this support from Yajirobe too, so I'm going to keep him in slot 3. And then on this next rotation, we're going to have him linked with another Master Roshi. And I don't know if this Master Roshi supports. It's the Super Strike, the STR one. I don't think he's a support unit. Or wait, no, that's not the Super Strike one. Isn't that the Baba Shop one? I completely forgot about that guy. The Baba Shop Easy A Master Roshi. Man, let's talk about those Baba Shop Easy A's for a second. They were all just a fumble. I mean, I think the Tech Krillin, he was alright, just because he is on Movie Heroes, of course, and he supports Movie Heroes. Or I think he supports Tech type, but of course, in the Movie Heroes category, there's a lot of good Tech units. So I think the Krillin is probably the best, but other than that, they all suck. Which really, it's kind of a shame, because they were all pretty interesting units. I know there was the physical Nappa, who was really interesting. There was a couple other units in there, but for sure they were a little unimpressive. I mean, yeah, look at that. That's not good at all. But anyway, right here, we're at 210k start of turn defense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put him in slot 1. So we are going to be missing out on World Tournament Champion. Let me just check what this does really quick. Because as long as this isn't like 10% attack and defense, then... Oh, it is 10% defense. Oh, lucky guess. Alright, so if he was in the middle slot, we would be a little over 200k defense, but I am going to put him in slot 1 so we can, for sure, just be built up. Because I don't know if the Master Roshi, if the World... Or not the World Tournament, if the Universe Survival Saga Master Roshi, I don't know if he's not going to kill, so I don't want to put him in slot 1. But right here, we are fully built up. We did receive all the attacks. So, oh yeah, actually, we received all the attacks on the last rotation. So right here, we're fully built up. We have 5.28 million attacks. Alright, so yeah, the damage isn't really the craziest, but for a free-to-play LR, it's pretty good. We did get the crit off as well for 3.5 million damage. And of course, we have the damage reduction right there. So we're looking pretty good. I mean, this is at least double digits from all the hard-hitting enemies in their normals. Maybe their super attacks will hit pretty hard, but I don't know. I think the one issue with this guy is that 30% defense is only on his 12 key. Because if he got that 30% defense on his 18 key, so then you could throw this guy in slot 2, get the 30% defense, you'd be at like, I don't know, like almost 400k, especially with double supers, you start to push like 500k defense, and you have the 50% damage reduction, then this guy starts to look really crazy. But unfortunately, he only gets that 30% defense on his 12 key, which is just a really weird design choice, because obviously you have to target the 18 key super attack so you can get the damage reduction with this guy, which I would say is a pretty crucial just part of his kit in general. So I do think that you might struggle with your defense a little as long as you don't get the 18 key super attack. But I mean, I guess it all boils down to where you bring him, because if you're bringing him in, you know, the Legendary Vegeta event, for instance, you know, right here, then you're gonna be fine, right? He's gonna be great even in slot 1. But unfortunately, in some more difficult events, if he gets touched with a super, especially if you don't have that 50% damage reduction up, yeah, you're probably gonna die. But oh, okay. But then we have a rotation like this. We're at over 300k start of turn defense, and then we get the 50% damage reduction. Then we start to look really crazy. This is pretty much double digits from a lot of enemies in the game. What we're going to do is we are going to, we'll play, well, actually we're not going to play this. We're going to use Yajirobe's just to get the heal. And then we are going to play the Master Roshi's active skill right here. And just see how this is looking. So we did manage to get the crit right there as well. And we did some pretty good damage. I can't lie. I mean, you know, once you start getting the crits off, then, you know, his damage gets pretty good. So, oh, wow. Okay, well, we can't get an 18 key, but I'm going to nuke with him. Do a little tomfoolery. Just nuke with him right here. And then we will, we'll use the item as well. Oh, really? You couldn't just get rid of these tech key spheres right here? Alright, whatever. We got 13 key spheres. we are going to pop this as well. And wow, look at that. We're over 2 million just raw attack. All right. I mean, keep in mind, of course, this isn't necessarily contributing to the unit's performance. This is just a fun rotation. I mean, yeah, 15.1 million damage is a lot. But, I mean, especially if we crit right here, because we did pop his active skill. Oh, okay. All right, well, we didn't get the crit. But we did pop his active skill on this rotation, so I think we did still have that 64% chance to crit. Which, I mean, once you start getting the crits off, this guy is doing a lot of damage, for sure. Because he's hitting around a 5-6 million attack stat consistently. And with crits, that's really good. But without the crits, it's just alright. I mean, it's not anything too crazy. But I think the main thing about this guy is for sure his defense, not really his damage. But his damage is still there. And then we got the Yajirobe here, double super in. And actually, you know what? This Yajirobe gets the 100% defensive buff. The 100% defensive buff, excuse me. So right here, his defense is insane, I think. His defense is like, it's really high. I forgot to check what his start of turn defensive stat was, but... Alright, well, what we'll do is... I guess we'll just pop these. We'll pop these and then hopefully kill, and then go on to the next rotation. We'll show off one more rotation with the Lr Jackie Chun, and then we'll hop into the Cell Max event and call it a video. Damn. Yeah, Yamcha's animations are pretty good. I know it's the Lr Jackie Chun showcase, so I don't know why I played the active skill for Yamcha, but I mean, Yamcha's got some clean animations. I think Yamcha is a great example of how, even if the unit is not hype, as long as you give them a good kit, good animations, they're going to be fine. I mean, same thing with Ginyu. Granted, I know some people were actually excited for the Ginyu Dokkan Fest, and there was some hype around it. But, you know, they made the unit really crazy. They gave him some really good additions on his team, and his animations were really good as well. So, for sure, I mean, as long as they keep that formula down with these less hype units, I think Dokkan will be fine. And they'll be able to make a lot of money even out of these less hype units. But then you've got someone like Raditz who, you know, like the worst performing banner on Dokkan. And that is pretty much just because the unit, his kit is just so bad. If they made him really good, then I feel like a lot of people probably would have summoned for him. But no, he just sucks. So, alright, we got a really good rotation right here. We're going to be at 370k start of turn defense. And we do have all 7 links active right here. So, just overall, a really crazy rotation. I am a little nervous. We might end up dying right here. What does this guy do? Oh, yeah, we can't do that. We got to do this. Alright, we might die. I'm gonna put him in slot 1, so we're going to be missing legendary power, but other than that, we've got all of our links active. We are at a full 24 key super attack right here, and I hope we don't get supered before we super, because we might die, but I don't know, let's see. So yeah, double digits, and no, we did not get supered, so I would like us to tank a super attack now. Okay, an 8.4 million attacks, actually, that is pretty good. That is pretty useful. I mean, this is a really good rotation for him, though. We got the full 24 key super, and I believe we have double support right here. But how much are we taking for this? I'm assuming double digits, right? 212k? No way. Was the 50% damage reduction active right there? It had to have been, right? We hit him with the 18 key super attack. Okay. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Why did we take so much damage there? I mean, I know this Vegeta hits hard, but God. Oh, well, I forgot we can't even check his passive out. Okay, never mind. Well, damn. All right. Well, that was a lot of damage, but, okay. Well, I guess we'll just hop in the Cell Max event. We'll see if he can tank there, but, I mean, he didn't perform bad, even though he took 200k damage. Still, that's relatively good for a free-to-play unit. But, yeah, that was a little bit more than I was expecting, I'll admit. So, let's go ahead and cut to when we are in the Cell Max event. Okay, so we are here in the Cell Max event, and we got really lucky with the way Cell Max is attacking. We're taking 1 attack before we super, so as long as that's not a super, we can see how much damage he's taking without the damage reduction, and then of course we can see how much he takes with the damage reduction because of the multiple attacks Cell Max is hitting us with after we super. And we have a good rotation. We got a good field of ki. We're going to get a full 24 ki super attack. We have 6 out of 7 links active. And we do got a ton of support right here. So, yeah, look at that. We're almost at 400k start of turn defense. That's pretty good. I would say 400k defense with the 50% damage reduction. And Yajirobe's support hasn't even kicked in yet. Oh my god. Come on, Cell Max. Really? We almost survived that. We were like, wow. Okay, wait. We were very, very close to surviving that. Let's hop back in and see if he can tank a super, but that's pretty impressive because that was without the damage reduction and we just barely died. Like, just barely. So, alright, let's hop back in. Alright, so we are back in the Cell Max event, and right here, we got another pretty good rotation. So, I mean, as long as we don't get supered before we do our super attack, we're fine. I think. I don't think we'd take that much damage from normals. Just don't super me before I super. Okay, 55k. Alright, that's some damage for sure. But we did a 7.3 million attack stat. And let's see how much damage he's taking after we have the 50% damage reduction. Because we did take a lot of damage in the Legendary Vegeta event. But let's see how much we're taking now. So we're getting supered as well. 236k, okay. So we did manage to survive a Cell Max super. And I think we took double digits right there as well from the normal. So, yeah, okay. Well, he didn't manage to survive, but the LR free-to-play Master Roshi did. Or the LR Jackie Chun, I should say. So, I mean, that has been the video. Let me know what you guys think of this guy down in the comments. Let me know if you plan on grinding World Tournament for him. I do suggest you do it, but if you don't think it's worth it, I get it. World Tournament is pretty bad. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.